Hi all, it's Graham from the Small Motorhome Forum and website, and we're looking at these XCP professional products. They're all lubricating products, so they're quite handy to have for in the garage or in your motorhome or even in the home. So first of all, we'll have a look at the XCP1 and XCP Green one. Now they're both I've tested both these, and they both do the same thing, except that the green one is made up of 99% bio-based ingredients, as it says here in the tin, on the tin. So you know, if you're concerned about ecology, then that's the one for you, and it does exactly the same thing as the original one does, which I was quite surprised at, because very often some of these things, the green type thing, doesn't work as well as the original, but I can tell you that this actually does. That it's recommended by the AA, the XCP Professional one. It's a high performance multi-purpose spray, so you can use it for a multitude of things really, for lubricating and loosening things, cleaning and protecting, and it displaces moisture. That sort of area, if you want to do that. And I've used it on various things. I've used it, for instance, on a stiff lock, which you'll see later on in the video. We've got a stiff lock on our front door. I sprayed it with this stuff, and the key went in perfectly. It was like, in fact, it was like magic, really. So these are both handy things to have, both in the motorhome or in your caravan, and also at home, because you never know when you might need something like that. If you've got something that's acting up and it's stiff and you can't get it to move, or you've got a nut that you can't budge, give it a spray with one of these and leave it to soak for a few seconds, and hey presto, it'll come away quite easily. So that's those two. Lubricate and protect, that's another one which does as it says really. We use it on our folding bikes, which we take in the van, and it reduces friction and minimises wear, and it just sort of lubricates it and gives it extra protection. So that's a good one to have as well. And lastly, the rust blocker. If you've got stuff that you keep outside a lot, and it's sort of liable to be rusted, that's a good thing to spray on. You can either spray it on or you can brush it on, and it gives a sort of a film, puts a film over the stuff, and it will protect it against rust. So there you go, they're the four products, and later on in the video I'm going to show you how they sort of work. Try it on one or two things. So they all come with this tube, which you can put in there into the nozzle, and then you can spray into areas what you can't normally get in, awkward places, that sort of thing. If you're spraying it into a lock, for instance, you can get a good localized spray with that little tube put on there. So they all come with that, so that's handy as well. So there you are, that's the four products, and so we'll have a look and see how they go on now. I don't know whether you've ever had this problem, but this is a tub that my wife wants to use to put little things in for her craft work, but it's had a sticky label on, and we've got the sticky label off, but as you can see, it's left this sort of residue, which, you know, it's really hard to get off. And it's the same with if you buy a gift for somebody and it's got a price tag on. Very often you can't get the price tag off without leaving this horrible thing. So I've done this before with other oil-based sprays. So I'm going to try it with the XCP Professional 1 to see if it works with this as well. So all you do is you spray the area that you want to clean, and straight away you can see there that that's coming off. Can you see that? How that's coming off? I'll just get a tissue. That's already starting to come off straight away. If you can see the difference there, look, between that side and that side. Look at that, that's brilliant. Getting it all over my fingers, but yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray that all over and leave it to soak in, and then we'll see the results. So I'll give that a spray there, but you can see already, without even rubbing it, how it fetches the stuff off. But it was immovable before, it wouldn't come off at all. Right, we'll leave that to soak in and see how we go. See what it looks like afterwards. So there we are then, that's the finished product, and look at that. It's fantastic. I've given it a couple of applications of the spray, and I've also had to rub it in parts where it's a little bit stubborn, but that's dissolved all that sort of glue that you get on these labels and things, and that's come off clean as anything, that has. So yeah, if you've got anything like that where you buy something and it's got a label on, and you take the label off and it leaves this horrible glue residue, then this XCP Professional one will actually dissolve that glue and take it off. It might be a good idea just to test it in a small area first, just to make sure it's not going to do anything to whatever whatever the label's stuck to. But yeah, I mean, that's brilliant, that is. So that's there again, that's another use for this spray. So I mean, it's handy to have in the house wherever you are. We take it away in our van as well when we go camping. So yeah, that's really worked well, that has. Brilliant. So this is another case in point here. We're struggling to get this key in. It does go in, but it's really awkward to get in and get out again. So we're going to use the green one on this and see how this one goes. So I've got my my little adapter there, and we're going to give it a spray inside the. This is what I say about this tube, it's really handy for getting into awkward places. I've got a bit of tissue so it doesn't dribble down. Give that a spray in there. Wipe off any excess. I'll give that a couple of minutes and we'll see how it goes. Right, so I've given it a couple of minutes now to just to get that oil settled inside the lock, and I'm just going to spray the key as well. Just a slight smear of oil onto both sides of the key. Oops, a bit too much. Right, now we'll see how it goes. That's incredible, actually. Look at that. Now that was really stiff to get in and out again, but that's just magic. So that's you know, there's lots of things like that you can do to use this stuff, and that's with the green one. That's brilliant, that is. That's great. So there you go. One lock solved. One easy to get in lock. Perfect. So here we are, this is our exercise bike, and I'm going to use this XCP Lubricate and Protect spray to lubricate some of the moving parts. Now I've put the sort of a little tube adapter thing on so that I can get right into the little nooks and crannies that I need to get the oil into. So as it says on the tin, it will actually lubricate and protect it, and it reduces friction and minimises wear. So it's good for this sort of thing where you're using it a lot, using the moving parts, and there's a lot of friction obviously. So we'll give it a spray and see how we go on. So we'll give the pedals a spray. There we are. So that gives them a nice free moving action, and also this is where the adapter nozzle tube thing comes in handy, because you can get right in there and actually spray inside, get it into the workings. There we are. So that will hopefully keep that moving nicely, and won't get any friction or wear on there. So yeah, that's a good way to use the Lubricate Protect thing, the XCP Professional Lubricate Protect. That's a good way to use it. So there they are then. That's the 4 products, and hopefully I've given you some idea as to what you can use them for. But really, I'm sure you can think up of lots of other uses for them as well. I've found them pretty good. They've worked really well, and basically do what they say on the tin. So I think it's a fairly new product, and it's worth trying them out. So if you fancy trying them out, you can buy them on Amazon. I will put links below in the description below. And you can also get them from B&Q stores. So if you want to nip to your local B&Q store and see if they've got them in stock, which they should have, because they sell them in B&Q stores, so you can get them from there as well. So give those a try. Well worth the try. Okay, that's all. Cheers for now, and I'll see you on the next video.